in the rebuilt California Keys. Tourists used to love this place until the good, the bad, and the straight-up ugly arrived. Now we've got organized crime and mercenaries taking on cops and vigilantes, all floating and fighting in our damn streets. When you jump into zero G, how are you gonna win the war? Will you fly like a rocket? Or swing through the sky?
Step into the shadow!
You have picked up the battery.
Will you be on the right side of the blade or the wrong side of a gun? Lawbreakers.
Oh, join me in welcoming the CEO of Boss Key Productions, Cliff Bezinsky. Hey, Cliff.
How's it going, man?
Cliff, nice shoes. I didn't see those earlier.
Those are my fresh kicks, man.
Those are great.
I'm at the age where I just want them to be comfortable. That's all I really care about. And I got to cast Ice-T again. How awesome is that? This ain't utopia.
Well, outside of shoes, I want to jump straight into talking about your game.
Absolutely.
Right away, the movement, the motion, the verticality sticks out. Talk to me about that design element, because it harkens back to like Quake and Unreal days.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, we've talked about those kinds of games, and I think they're doing a new Quake, which looks pretty cool as well. But it's really important to note that what we're doing is evolving this kind of game for kind of a new generation that expects kind of abilities and characters that have different kind of health and different movement styles.
Right.
And so the core of these types of games, these first-person shooters, it's not just the shooting, it's the movement. It's how you flow through the environment. It's whether or not the player actually has momentum. Then when you add in low gravity and the player zips into low gravity and jumps out, and they can actually bunny hop a little bit. So you start to get a little bit of that kind of like, strafe jumping, tribes skiing little vibe going on in there. And then when you add in zero G and low gravity and blind firing behind you, it gets really, really interesting.
And I mean, this is the new map Promenade, I understand.
Which thankfully, the thing is here at E3, we're finally able to show off a new map, a new arena, because we've been showing off Grandview for so long, which is our kind of repurposed Grand Canyon. And now this is kind of my re-envisioning of what Santa Monica and Los Angeles could be in the near future and whatnot after an earthquake and humanity manages to rebuild Los Angeles properly without all the darn cars.
It's a very ambitious plan for Los Angeles.
Dude, it's really my thinly veiled middle finger to this town, because I love this town, but I hate it. It's like you're always in cars, you're always in traffic, so it's like if we could have like the big dig in LA and put all the cars underground self-driving, then we could have like lovely Frank Gehry architecture everywhere. And the Santa Monica Pier is reimagined with it's not just a Ferris wheel, but it's like omnidirectional now, along with a big zero G pocket in the middle.
And I mean, in terms of just the gameplay, what has it been like to try to balance all the different motion routes that players can go through when there's so much freedom?
It's completely unbalanced right now. And that's why we're actually going to be doing the public alpha. And so when we do these public alphas, we actually say, come help break this game with us. We've had some streamers who are already playing the game giving us feedback on the health stations or feedback on the player speed and movement. Right. And we're having these boiling debates inside the studio, and I tell everyone, get used to it, because this is part of the process of 2016 and beyond and making a living product with your fans.
Yeah. I have to ask right away, there's so many different kinds of shooters coming out with Overwatch, with Battleborn, with Paladins. I mean, how do you see Lawbreakers fitting into the mix with all these types of shooters coming out?
I had this epiphany the other day, and I didn't tweet it in spite of my trash talking on Twitter. The fact that, if Overwatch is Street Fighter, we're going to be Mortal Kombat. Overwatch feels like it's kind of skewed, towards a kind of an anime fan type vibe, right? And it's a fantastic game. My wife is really good at Mercy, by the way. Don't go up against her. She gets to play the game every time. But we're like kind of the Western version of that actually has, a little bit of cursing, a little bit of gore. It's not gratuitous, but, we're going back to the kind of the roots of a shooter where you can actually do a star fall down and boom, cause people to explode.
Well, awesome. I mean, you talked about alpha plans. What is the more specific timeline in regards to that?
Basically what we're doing, we have our kind of alpha timeline coming out here in a second here, where we're doing a public alpha, and it's actually on the 18th of June, this weekend, where if you go to PCGamer.com, you can enter your name and possibly get in. There's only a limited amount of tickets that you can get in for that, and preloading will start on the 16th, so you're not sitting there on the 18th eating up all your bandwidth downloading the darn game. So basically what we're building up to is early access for everyone. I'm not revealing that date yet in regards to when the game's, paid and whatnot, but it's free. There's no non-disclosure on the 18th here. You can stream the game. You can put it on YouTube. You can tweet me, tweet Lawbreakers. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you hate. Call us assholes. I don't really care. Just give us your feedback. That's what we're going for. Oh, they will.
Cliff, I love it, and I guarantee you will get that feedback. And I'm excited to play the game.
I'm
going
excited
to tweet
to
at
ship
you.
it.
I want to get access. Once again, pcgamer.com/law. I believe that there were several thousand keys available, but they're all gone. Guaranteed.
Oh, man. Good problem to have.
Of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, Cliff Bezinsky from LawBreakers. Thank you so much for coming out, Cliff. It was a pleasure.